Hello. Good evening, good afternoon, good morning, wherever you are. This is Undying Hope Media. I'm Aluel, and this is my husband, Teal. We are back. We are back. But before we say anything, we're just going to play a little song like less than a minute, and then we can talk later. Hello.
Yes, hello, hello.
We are back.
Yeah, these actually are our students that we gave a scholarship to in Juba.
Yes. Hello, everyone. Again, good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you are. I'm going to say it again. This is Aluel, and this is my husband, Teal. This is Undying Hope Media. We disappeared for a while, but we are back now due to my husband's schedule. He was so busy with his PhD, he couldn't add anything else into his schedule, and I was a little bit busy with some family's issue. But now we're free and we are back, and today we are going to talk about a very important topic. It's very good. Um, for those who are listening, first I wanted to say thank you very much for showing up. And for those who are watching, also thank you for watching. And all together, we hope that we will learn from each other and we will benefit from the topic that we're going to talk about today. And actually, we are talking about South Sudan. This topic concerns South Sudan and concern all of us as South Sudanese. It's a public service delivery,
Yeah,
and
yeah. South Sudan. Most of the time, we talk a lot about oil revenue and even agriculture, not knowing that public service delivery is also a source of revenue that can build a nation if it's done right. And this is what we will be talking about today.
in a couple of videos that we talk about a while back, we talk about where are we going as South Sudanese. And for all of us, we all, as a South Sudanese, we have a role to play in our country, whether by doing or by talking or by advising or about sharing what we know. So today, we're going to talk about a lot of things that are happening in South Sudan. And I'm sure we all wondering, where are we heading? Where are we going? And what is really happening, you know? And we feel like we lost our way,
Yeah,
and we mentioned that before, and it's happening. And the way we are losing our way is out of
yeah,
control. We became like sheep that are lost in the desert and they don't know where their
yeah,
direction is going. So that's why we really need to talk about the issues that are happening in South Sudan. And then first, we're going to talk about public service delivery. And this one include a lot of things. And we mentioned the things that we were going to talk about today. And they are listed in the post that we posted on Facebook a week ago. But we will go through them uh, one by one. And I hope the time will be enough for all of us and for all of us to share. And we will be sharing more. If we don't share all, we can talk about the rest for the next time.
Yes, and like my wife just mentioned, for a country to develop or to move from a country to a nation, there has to be a vision. Should know where we are going and also know how to get there. What are the things that are important to put in place? Otherwise, we will be spinning and continue to say we are a young nation. And sometimes I will hear some people say Rome was not built in a day. But we are already a child that was born when South Sudan got independence. It could be today in high school. So we have work to do, and South Sudan belong to all of us. And each one of us, every one of us, has a role to play, and that's how my wife and I will see ourselves. We also have a role to play in building this country, and we'll be we'll start with tax collection. In some African countries, um, including South Sudan, it is called National Revenue Authority. So tax is a very, very important component in building a nation. And it's not something that you just impose on people. It's something that ingrained in people's mind to know that it is important. So basically, it should be embedded in a curriculum for children in school to learn about taxation, that it is part of life. And there are different type of taxes that can build a nation, can bring back revenues that you could use to build schools, hospitals, roads, if it's done well. And there has to be a system for you to see the fruits of taxation. Like, for example, at the border with bordering countries, there are taxations that are asked. Those taxation, those revenues, if we have a right system, it can do something. Goods in shops, like a person that you go and buy something, you buy a bread, you buy oil, you buy, there are percentage that are embedded in those goods, can also bring in revenue. Employment, employees and employers, there are taxes that are expected of them. So it's a whole range of taxes. If it's done right and everybody knows that it is for building our country, it can generate revenues more than the oil that we actually depend on the whole entire country.
And actually, what we are talking about today is not something new to everyone, um, but it's good to talk about it and mention it to a lot of people because, like we said, sometimes when you lose your way, the important things that you should do in life and the important thing that you should include in your plans, you start to forget them. And the problem we lost our way, and then we couldn't create a system. All the stuff that my husband was talking about now, like the tax, those things happen by the system when the system is created. When we had a chance, and we still have a chance. We still have a chance to create a system that will have tax included in every things, like all the items that you were saying, if it's the stores, workplaces, other places, uh, bordering. countries, all the tax that come out from it, we should use them in doing a lot of things. And it's not only, we're not talking about this because it's only South Sudan should do that. All the countries are doing that and they're benefiting from that. But because we don't have a system, that I think that why we're struggling.
Yes. And earlier, actually, I was sitting out there with my wife talking, and she looked at the our home, and she said, "This home now, without a foundation, it will fall apart. It's just
Mm-hmm.
a matter of time."
Mm-hmm.
So that means a foundation, building a foundation for a country is very important uh, for for building to sustain uh, climates, rains and winds, and it has to have a strong foundation and also a strong pillars, corners. Then you can build. The same thing with nation.
Mm-hmm.
If those are lacking, things like accountability, things about like institutions, building institutions, coherent institutions, things like constitutions, and those are foundation. And now you start thinking of where can we get money,
Mm-hmm.
revenues, and what we're talking about today is part of that taxation system. Um, we see, like, for example, you can be thinking of generating money through power and water services.
Mm-hmm.
Have we asked ourselves why power is so expensive in South Sudan? Why do we still use
Tank water,
water tank,
water tank, yeah,
you
from
know,
the
from the river?
river.
You know, yeah. Go ahead.
Um, Without a system, we're not gonna be able to have a
Hmm.
taxation services. With tax money, we'll be able to create other stuff like roads, schools. With the money that comes from the tax, we can do all of those stuff. And then the power and and the water, the water. Now South Sudan is so far, even though it's the youngest country, we're still using water from the Nile. We're still getting water from the tank, from a house to a house. It's not even clean water.
Yeah, and this is a capital city.
And this is a
It's a
capital,
capital
yeah.
city. Imagine what happened in other
Other
states
areas, other
and
states are
rural
suffering, they're
areas.
suffering, they're suffering. So what we're talking about here, we don't have a direction, and that's why we're lacking all the simplest things that can be done in any country. Those things are not issues anymore. They're not issues in any other countries, even in the villages.
Yeah.
When you go, when like now that we're staying in Nairobi, the people who are out Nairobi and living in the villages, they live better life than we who have a south, who have a country and who live in a capital city. They have running water, they have power, but we don't have power. Either you using a generator, even the power that they brought, they said is a what, kahraba, public
Elect-
electricity is still expensive.
yeah. Yeah.
It's still very, very, very expensive. Leave the water. The water is not even clean. And those stuff are the first thing that should be done as soon as we got our country. We should have worked in making pipes, so every home should have a water that's running. Every home should have a power that is affordable for everyone. You know, like the schools, the hospitals, the roads, all those things are the first thing that we should have done
When
when we
we
got our
the
independence. And
independence, yeah.
there were a lot of money pumped into the country that would have fixed this country. By now, it would have been somewhere else. But the problem is, after the money was pumped in, everybody forgot the reason in the first place why we got our independence and what we should have done to our country. You cannot fight so hard and then you come and you mess it up, you know?
And everything is not like my wife said, it's not talking. It's not just talking. Is what we see. So we
Hmm.
should see, like, you go to hospital, there are power. People are not dying in emergency, in a surgery, because the electricity just went out, or we don't have a gas, or things like that. Sorry. South Sudan is our population is only around 12 million. It's big size, and population so small. So we shouldn't be here if we have right plan and right vision. This is a reality, and this is true. If we started well, South Sudan should not be in this place today. Like, we're still struggling with flooding in the states. So so you can use something like even water or power to to employ people, and that goes into public services delivery. So it's not just talking about water and power. We're talking about employment here. We're talking about places to generate money. We're talking about how money can be circulated within
Within
the
the country.
country. So we have a challenge,
Hmm.
and that challenge need to be fixed. And who's going to fix it? The solution
Us
is not going to come from outside. The solution has to be engineered inside, and then we attract
investors
investors
to come in.
and people with the mind and expertise and the skill set that we need to build a country. So it's not just going to happen through talking. It's going to happen through us working together, cooperatively. Um, if we work in Juba today or in another places, you also see another challenge. It's a big thing. It's a waste,
Mhm.
trash, garbage everywhere.
Mhm.
This is a health issue. And when a nation, a country is not healthy,
People will be sick.
yeah, and you cannot develop. You cannot. We can we can keep talking about development. We want to build our nation. There are basic things that need to be put together first before
Before
we
we
build
become
the
a
nation.
nation. Yeah.
Yeah. Back to the house. This home, it was not just built right away. It was this plan, and there was a lot of things thought about. We need soil, we need water, we need cement, we need those type of things. So when you walk around and you see things like that, trash and recycle on the street, the first thing come to mind is, where are we headed? Where are we as a country? you know this is creating problems.
Health issue.
Health issue. The mosquitoes, they breed here. This their home, and they will come and spread malaria all over. And,
That's why we always have malaria.
yeah, typhoid and malaria.
Typhoid and malaria. Typhoid and malaria. It comes from all the waste. It comes from all the dirty water that we're drinking. So malaria will never leave Juba because most of African countries, they don't. Malaria can kill someone in South Sudan. The problem is all those small stuff. Those are not big things anymore in any other countries. Now these things are issues in South Sudan. Water, the cleanliness of the water and the environment and all on the streets and those things if are fixed, then we'll be healthy. We'll not have problems. Nobody will get sick,
Yes.
you know. But the problem is, where are those people who are in charge with those work, you know, those who are in the power to do this? Now, we're not going to say it's president who does all of this. Everybody is assigned to do this type of work. So if I have a power to do something, why I'm not doing it? Why I'm not helping in making sure that the streets are clean, the water is clean, you know? There's power for everybody to survive. There's a power is affordable for everyone. There's clean water for everybody. So if we have those things and all the streets are clean, everybody has a work, everybody has an
Exactly.
assignment for everything in that
Yes.
country.
And we can generate
Yeah,
money. It's an employment,
to
and it's
do all of these things instead of us focusing on who is appointed and who was,
out,
you know,
degree who is coming and who is going out, and contracts and
changing people is not going to change the mess that we're in. It's working together to make sure, if we like, really really to have that heart of you wanted to work and do something for this country. I don't know where are the responsibilities gone. I believe we as parents, we do our best to make sure that our children are safe. You know, we work hard to make sure they're in school, they're sleeping, they're healthy, they're eating well, they're dressed well, they live in a clean environment. We work so hard to make sure that this happened to our children. So as a country, for those who are leading us, what are you guys doing to make sure that we as the nation, we as the people of South Sudan are comfortable? We're not comfortable.
yeah,
A lot of people are suffering. It doesn't mean if we're scattered somewhere else and our kids are okay. We still have relatives. We still have nieces and nephews who are suffering there. So if we don't talk on behalf of those people, who will talk? It has to be us, you know. D- I said it before. Anything that is good that I want for my child, I want it
for somebody
for
else's
somebody
child.
else's child. You
Yes.
know, it's if it takes, والله let's say it takes زول يعني بحب وطنه. يعني وطنك ده زي عيالك مثلا. إذا أنت بتحب عيالك enough, whatever أنت ده تعمله لعيالك هتقدر تعمله لعيال خيرك. لعيال الناس اللي بيبقوا لك. Exactly my country. If you really love your country, you do whatever it takes to make sure that this country is going where it's supposed to go. احنا نسينا على اساس انه where our children gonna go.
Mhm.
We're not doing anything for them. يعني we are
يعني المستقبل ذاته ان
ما
احنا
في
قاعد نبنيه لهم
مستقبل قاعد
يعني
نبني لعيال ديل.
yeah.
There's nothing we're going to leave behind for our children. There's no country we're leaving behind our children. If we're not fighting to build this country for them, so when they can come, they take over. So who will do that? Our kids are scattered everywhere. Some are in the neighboring countries are struggling
Mhm.
due to the bad economy that is happening in South Sudan. Some kids are not going to school.
Yeah.
The kids who went to Western Wall, kids are dying every day.
Mhm.
Kids are out of home. Eh?
والسيتويشن في جنوب السودان
The
ذاته
situation for Junub Sudan
بقى
is
يخوفوا
not
به
helping.
بخوفوا به يا
And then for you to scare your child, you have to tell them, if you don't get your act together, I'm taking you to
to
South
South
Sudan.
Sudan,
So
حتى
South Sudan become a country that بخوفوا به
بيبني
عيال.
يعني يا
Eh?
instead يكون country ده نجيب عيال نرجعهم لهم شفتها.
The reason why we come and we stuck somewhere, we don't go home. Because when you think about the school that you're going to put your child in it, mafi. The healthy environment, على أساس إنه جناك يكون قاعد فوقه mafi. احنا تعبانين يعني we've been working so hard. Western world, it's about time for us to bend by, to come home, and come and play a role to do what we can do to
Yeah,
help
to
to
be
help the country and to
part of
bring
public
our,
services,
yeah, and to bring our kids back home so they can work and in their countries, that they can do something. But if you come and you see that things are not going well, so what is the other option that you can have? To take them back, you
Yeah.
know, and that's not the solution. That's why we are talking. The people who are leading this country, what are they doing? We're not attacking anybody.
Yeah, those are
And we
realities.
don't we don't targeting anyone. We're just asking where are we going as a country? What should we do
Something has to change.
something has to change.
Something
We
has to
have
change
to.
for us to get ahead.
Sometimes if you're taking a direction and you know there's
It-
you're not getting anywhere, you should sit back and
mhm,
look, what can you do, you know?
exactly.
And that's what's happening here now with us in South Sudan. Why we're not sitting to see what have we done wrong, you know? We still have a chance to turn around. Those people who have, usually bigulu, when you have the power to do something, you should do it.
Yeah.
You should not hesitate. Mm?
البروبلم كله بقى جهوية وترايباليزم ونيبوتيزم وحاجات ما بيساعدونا.
and
ما
and then we
بودونا
are
أي حاجة.
focused on things that will not even help us.
Yeah.
يعني هسه let's say our children، خليك من العيال. يعني South Sudan so far is still the only country that عيال لافين في الشوارع، وعيال ديل عيال ناس آه، ضحوا
ضب بحياتهم
بحياتهم عشان الدولة ده.
زي
you
أي
know
عساكر for example.
let's say
يعني
عساكر، حقوقهم وينه؟
yeah.
هم اللي بيحمونا لو حصل حاجة. they are the one that will go out and fight for us. what are they doing غير إنه تلقى عسكري اللي في الشارع قاعد يشحت في قروش بتاع مواصلات.
so embarrassing.
so embarrassing.
Yeah.
بتلقى عسكري تعبان، لما يحس إنه ما قادر يعمل أي حاجة to play a role in his family as a man, we end up killing them himself. And we've been hearing those stories.
Yeah. Frustration.
Frustration.
وده الناس خدموا البلد يعني they gave their life, they gave their blood, you
to this
know,
country.
to this country, and they should be
اللي أنا
well taken
بعرفه
care of.
هني إنه العساكر عندهم حقوق. حتى عساكر ما بيمسكوا قروش كتير لدرجات ده، لكن في مواد تموينيات. remember زمان في السودان
ايوه
يعني في عساكر زمان. I remember
ويكون
كنا
عندهم
ساكنين
مواد
في جريف
تموينية
وفي محل اسمه إصلاحية.
yeah.
إصلاحية ده فوقه ناس
إشلاك
إشلاك
yeah.
في إشلاك. فيو عساكر ولا هم سجون
يا
هني
سجون هاي
بفاميليز بتاعهم. that's mean وفروا لهم بيوت يقولوا فوقه.
ايوه
and
وعندهم مواد تموينية حتى لو
وعندهم
سالري
صرف
بقى
بتاعهم.
بسيط لسه
yeah
يعني بخطي.
بخطي. لكن العسكري هسه حاليا لا قادر يصرف، لا قادر يلقى مواد تموينية عشان ياكل. so ده بيعملوا كيف؟ who's gonna protect our country if something happen؟ nobody.
yeah.
لأنه هم تعبانين. أنت جعان
حتى
هتشيل السلاح
السلاح
كيف؟
كيف يا السلاح ذاته أقوى من الإنسان.
yeah هتشيل السلاح كيف؟ ماشي. الأساتذة
اللي بيدرسوا
اللي
عيالنا
بيدرسوا العيال
عشان
ذاته،
يكون
العيال
ناس
اللي are
مستقبل.
trying so hard إنه هم to learn البسيط اللي فيه. الأساتذة المفترض إنه يدرسوهم. الأساتذة they are not getting paid.
They're not getting paid, and sometimes it goes month and month and month and month.
And then they drop out, they leave school and then they go and find something.
And students are
do.
dropping out. Where are
يا إخوانا where are we going؟ حتى العيال اللي في الدولة يعني في عيال هسه حاليا دخلوا في drugs.
yeah.
دخلوا في drugs and لأنه أول حاجة they drop out of school so ما في شغلة. so بتلموا، أول ما يتلموا بيقولوا عدم الشغلة بيجيب مشاكل.
أيوة.
and that's what happening. you know we have a lot of graduate that are graduate.
Some dropping
ما في أشغال. تلقى ناس بيقوموا من شجرة لشجرة، لأنه لو في ريال شغل أي واحد مشغول ما حتلقى ناس قاعدين تحت الشجرة. ما في العيال اللي في الشوارع ديل يعني انت كلهم عيال ديل المفترض يكونوا في مدارس.
ايوه، لكن لا في الشوارع.
الناس كلها مفترض تكون مشغولة. الوزارات اللي بتكون مليانة ده زي وزارة
زي يوم انا سايق مرينا بالوزارات وشفت الناس كتار واقفين يعني so many people standing outside and I was like what are these people doing here? And the guy that was with me, he was like, this is the minister of Ministry of
finance.
Finance. I was like, wow. يعني كل الناس ماشيين هناك. أنا قروشي أنا ماشي أطلع قروشي. ده ده يعني صورة ما يعني ما كويس.
هو
صورة ما
الوزارات،
كويسة.
وزارات شنو؟ وزارات محل بتاع شغل اصلا
أيوة.
هاني. you
مهم.
know يعني لو الا يكون دايرينك في وزاره ولا في شيء انت ماشي تعمله. if everybody is busy honey, ها
مهم.
everybody is busy doing their own thing، ما في زول حيجي وزاره.
بالضبط.
لانك انت الزمن اللي بتقضيه في وزاره النهار كله قاعد مقيل جعان
مهم.
وتعبان، وبكره تجي نفس الحاجه، انت ممكن تقضيه في زمن تاني في حاجه تانية انت بتعمله. something else
بالضبط.
that will benefit you and your family.
مهم.
but unfortunately everything become في وزارة المالية.
مالية وبترول محلل فيه قروش. بس الإنسان أساسا، الإنسان زي
زي
حيوان.
ما إحنا حيوانات.
حيوان دائما قاعد يفتش مهل مويه ومهل
ما هي مويه ما هي مويه واكل.
واكل.
أي.
نفس الشيء. يعني انت لو قلت القروش وحاجات ده كله في وزاره ماليه وبترول، يا انت اكيد
انت ما
ناس.
بتمشي محل تاني غير
ايوه.
المحل ده، الناس كلها
ايوه.
هتكون هناك.
أيوة.
لكن لو الناس مشغولة if jobs are created everybody is busy who's gonna go to وزارة. you
Nobody.
know
No.
لا هسه حاليا الناس كلها معتمدة على كونتراكات.
Mhm.
those contract الماني القروش ده بيجي من وين؟ ما ده
Yeah.
مش قروش بتاع البترول.
ايوه.
الكونتراكت اللي انت بتديه لزول ده لو بيتعامل that's good. but by the time you get the contract how many people need money from that contract? The contract for you to be given so you can do this type of work
بيبدا من فوق.
بيبدأ من
كل
فوق.
زول عنده percentage. By the time
You get the money you're not going to be able to do
to
what
do
you need to
anything.
do.
Yeah.
you know
So.
وما في accountability لأنه إذا أنا اديتك الكونتراكت I need my percentage. you
Mhm.
know
والبتايم ضاعت.
need percentage.
Yeah.
By the time that he gets the contract to do it ما في قروش
ما في
فضل
قروش. ما
أصلا.
في. ايوه.
you're not going to be able to do anything with the
Mhm.
small money that you have.
وداير نبني بلد، حنبنيه كيف؟ ما بدنا يعني.
ما بتبني.
ما بتبني.
ما حنمشي محل هيك 20 10 20 سنة قدام لقدام
حيجي.
بنفس الطريقة احنا ما حنبني البلد ده.
ايوه.
we're never gonna go anywhere.
الا نغير طريقه التفكير بتاعنا.
مهم.
شفتها؟ قاعد نفكر كيف نغيره عشان نقدر نودي آم،
بلد
بلدنا
بتاعنا
ده
قدام.
لقدام. شفتها؟ يعني
مهم.
زي ستريت تشيلدرن القاعدين ديل، يشوفوا لهم بروجرام. they are part of public service.
any country
program
honey.
عندهم street children or homelessness بيكون في
وناس
program
كبار
that is
هني،
done for
ناس
them.
كبار
you
ناس
know
كبار
yeah.
ناس
ناس
كبار.
كبار
خليك
يعني
من
ناسنا.
الريتايرمنت بلان. احنا ما عندنا معاشات ولا عندنا ناس بتنزل ريتايرمنت عشان يقدروا. ما في بلان ليم.
yeah.
يعني أي دولة عيال ونسوان وناس كبار that are the most important.
Mhm.
يعني all the services that need to be provided it should be provided for them.
yeah.
يعني هسه زي ما السيستم ما في يا اخوانا، احنا we really need to build a system. حتى الناس الكبار المفترض انه يكونوا في
مع عيالهم
retirement now
ايوه
supposed to stay
معاشات.
home
yeah.
and enjoy their life the rest of their life. them are their grandchildren. They're still running after work so they can support they support themselves and عيال اللي في بيت عيال اللي لسه صغار ولا grandkids بتاعهم. we don't have that why everybody في حكومة ما في زول داير يعمل retirement. يمشي يعمل
Mhm.
شنو؟
ايوه.
ويمشي ياكل من وين؟
لانه ما في
لانه ما
plan
في
for
ما في
them.
بلان فور ذم.
you know
لو في
and
بلان فور ذم هم اي زول عرف انه انا تعبت يا اخوانا this is it's about time for me to sit home.
yeah. وده كمان بيخلق شغل. يعني لو خطيت street children في محلاتهم، انت بتجيب ناس عشان يشتغلوا معاهم. the same thing with elderly بتاعنا. لو في program حكومة عندهم program معين لسenior citizens، وفي retirement plans وفي pension plans and those they help you create a job for people, but you also help our elderly and street children. You bring them back to school. Now you hire teachers too. So it is a system, and that system has to be created. It won't just happen on its own. It has to be created by leaders working with people together to build a foundation that would help the development. Otherwise, like my wife mentioned earlier, we will be spinning
Mhm.
around. You know, we wouldn't have, for example, fire department. Do we have a strong fire department? You know, do we have it?
No.
You know, do we have ambulances? So, like for example,
أنا شفت
that is
ambulance
Konya
قلب
Konya. You know, when fire broke out,
by
eh,
the time the ambulance come to go and get the
yeah,
water from the Nile.
even those
ما
fire
خلاص
they
كونيا
leaks
كونيا.
actually.
Yeah.
You know, Tamasha driving and the water is leaking. By the time you're going to help, the water is all gone. You know, and those are part essential public services that are needed, and we would not we didn't cover everything, but those are important, that will help our country if we really need our country to develop. Let's
لكن بصراحة كده يعني sometimes I just wonder إنه يعني الناس اللي يعني we don't think ده الحاجة اللي بيحيرني بعض مرات. and everyone that ما في زول في جنوب السودان هنا ما طلع دولة قريب ولا دولة بعيد. you know all of South Sudanese ما other الناس اللي ما عندهم إمكانيات to go somewhere else, but anybody who has a position, anybody who has money, they all exited South Sudan for some reason and then they came back. انت لما تطلع برا دولة تانية وتمشي تشوف الحاجات الموجودة ما بيوجع قلبك؟
الناس دي
يعني sometimes
مشيت
I just
دول.
wonder like don't those people really يعني زول لو جو عمل بلان وجاب ناس. There are a lot of young people who wanted to work يا اخوانا.
Yes.
لو انت جيت و you create a job and you start doing something, don't you think that they're going to work؟
You
يعني
come.
انا بس بسأل نفسي انه الناس ديل قلبهم ما قاعد يوجع.
انت مسافر يعني you traveling the world.
uh-huh.
What are you learning? What are you learning to bring back to your country? You know, is it just go and take photos
احنا
and shop?
قعدنا في خرطوم يا اخواننا قعدنا في خرطوم. خرطوم that was developed. A lot of people are still going to Khartoum. There are a lot of people who are coming here. نيروبي ما بعيد. Uganda ما بعيد. And they are developing up to now. Like people are still working hard to develop the country. Development بتاع country ده ما قاعد يجيف أصلا. Every time there's something new that هنا في شوارع جديدة، في مباني جديدة، في كباري جديدة، في مستشفيات زيادة، في
Yeah.
مدارس زيادة. So it's an ongoing thing عشان انك انت to develop a country لأنه كله مع السنين تجي في حاجات جديدة انت بتكون داير تعملهم في الكونتري بتاعتك. مع التكنولوجي الحاسة ده احنا ماشيين بسرعة عالية شديد. الwall is going like with a really
Very
really
rapidly.
yeah, but احنا we still behind. We're still talking about يعني حاجات بسيطة شديد يعني احنا ما قادرين نعملها. فده مسج ده يا اخواننا ل لساوث سودانيز عامة، للناس اللي في باور عامة، على اساس انه we need to do something. We really need to do something في جنوب السودان ده. Instead of us focusing منيا جابو منيا بقو
وزير
عقيد
وعمل.
مع الناس اللي بيجيبوهم ديل عندهم الفرصة على اساس انه يعملوا شيء.
ايوه، وده الشغل الشاغل
وده
يعني في
شغل الشاغل يعني الناس جعانة تعبانة. أه؟ وناس عيانين، ناس جايين يموتوا يعني بقى يعني في حاجات تافهة شديد.
yeah. ناس
أه؟
بيكونوا قاعدين في التلفزيون يعني الساعة 8 ولا ساعة يوم الاثنين واربعة ويوم الجمعة منتظرين يطلعوا منو دخلوا منو يعني.
ده كوم، لكن انت جابوك داير تعمل شنو؟ That's the question. If you start really working doing something معناته يعني اللي بيجيبوا وراك ده ممكن يكمل. احنا دايرين سيستم بس يا اخوانا.
yeah.
انتوا الناس اللي قاعدين في باور just create a system and create works. يا اخوانا ما جنوب السودان is not the only country that has corruption. All those countries
Yeah.
corruption ده ماشي في اي دولة. ما في دولة بيقولوا ما في corruption، لكن بيعملوا corruption بتاعهم بيجاي ومن بيصلحوا بيجاي، بياكلوا بيجاي وبيصلحوا بيجاي. يعني 50-50 انت شيل ده 50 بتاعتك ده و50 الثاني ده يشتغل عامل
ما
حاجة.
نهب ما
ما
looting you
نه ما
know.
yeah. لكن اللي عندنا في جنوب السودان ما بيقولوا عليه corruption.
That's looting.
ده
You
بيقول عليه
know.
نهب.
Yeah.
ها؟
I,
نهب انت انهب، ودي زول اللي
yeah.
جنبك
Yeah.
انهب وصلح.
Yeah.
احنا محتاجين نصلح
yeah.
الدولة.
مامي I remember لما كنا صغار شفتها، يعني لما المطر ينزل وفي حبوب كلنا نجري نمشي تحت شجر المانجا. شفتها الزول القوي بيناتنا ومعضل بيقوم يقعد ويشيل المانجا ده كله. شفتها بيقول ده بوين دي كان وبوين دي كان بوين دي كان كديه كان كتوي كان كديه كميدا تابانين awik manga tin ko
بتشوفوا.
wait بس لكن كيران تو نياي
سو احنا ما نبقى زي
ما
زول ده
نبقى
يا
زول
اخوانا.
ايوه
احنا ناكل وشير and then يا اخوانا
if
we
you have
need
a heart of corruption, yeah, even though it's not good, we are not encouraging corruption. It's not a good thing, you know. It's good to build a nation. It's good to use the resources to build a
the
nation.
nation.
Revenues from oil, revenues from agriculture, from taxes, from all these revenue sources. We should use them to build a nation. You know, give that heart وطنية. الوطنية ده مشاوين.
وطنية
You
بقى
know,
ما في.
and so الدولة ما هيمشي لقدام بدون ما يكون عندنا خطة، بدون ما يكون عندنا vision، بدون ما يكون عندنا strategies and how to achieve that goal. You know, and one of the things we're talking about today, public service delivery, would do that. Like we talk about the taxation. It's important. A country without taxation, especially taxation that you don't know where
It goes.
it goes,
We're not gonna go
is a
anywhere.
problem. A country that don't have power, for example,
Clean
or
water.
clean water, those are basic. Those are basic in any country, and we are struggling with in South Sudan. We go out and there's a waste everywhere. We need a waste management services that will help clean up our cities. Our men and women in power need to be taken care of. They need to be taken care of because they protect our country, our
They teach our
territories.
children also,
Yes,
the
and the
teachers.
teachers. You see, there's children that are on the street.
They need to be collected
Yeah, they need to be sent back to school to get
and
education.
have a home.
And our senior citizen need to have a plan, a retirement plan, a program for them, so that they can grow up with dignity. Is very important. And we need to have a strong fire department and ambulances and those to make sure if somebody is sick or a woman is in labor, you need an ambulance to take that mother as soon as possible to the nearest hospital. If a house burned down, we need an
We have an
ambulance.
ambulance left.
Those services are part of development. Development is not just words, and all contribute to building a healthy country, an educated country, a good education system, a strong education system, a strong health system. If we are educated and we are healthy, we can build a nation.
We can think, right? Yeah. Thank you. Thank you very much. We don't want to make it very long. We will have another show by the end of
Yeah, the first week
the first
of
week of
next month.
yeah, the first week of next month, and we were talking about the same issues.
Yeah.
And as we always say, we're not targeting anybody. We're not um, accusing everybody, but we just want to do something for this country.
Yes.
And if we can, why not? Why not? Like, احنا بقينا مهزلة.
Yes, yeah.
للناس كله، الناس كلها بدأت تتكلم عننا وحش وكده. So احنا بس we just trying to do something عشان to leave something behind for our children so they can continue, you know. So we will say thank you very much for those who watch
Thank you.
and for those who would watch later. We appreciate your time. We appreciate your comments. We will try to respond if as as soon as possible.
Mhm.
And until next time, we'll say good night, good
Good morning,
morning, good
good
afternoon,
afternoon,
and good
wherever
evening,
you are.
wherever you are. Thank you.
Thank
Thank you
you.
very much. See you next time.